Aaron's down there on the left. Christian's down there on the right, still in Panama. I don't know when he's coming back home, fans. He might
In
be
the
stuck
morning,
there
early.
forever. We have a little running joke that there's pirates after him.
They are still are.
Crazy stuff. But welcome to a special Friday night edition of the show. Tonight we're going to go over some NFL games. Probably talk a little college football as well. We always do. We will be transitioning into college basketball and probably talk a little pro basketball as well coming up. Moving forward after the official football season is over Monday night. Also, if you pay attention to our Facebook page, the 4-Star Sports Show page, we announced today or last night, 1 to 2, they all run together, that we now have a official 4-Star Sports Show website that you can visit. You can also go there, check it out. Not a bad website. It's pretty simple right now, but we will expand as we expand with the show. Also, just to give you fans a little update into the future, also getting ready to start a Instagram account as well for the show. And my boy Quarantine John over there is going to get going with a Twitter account for the show. So that'll be a lot of fun as well. What do you mean, no, John? Yeah, you are. We are gonna have a Twitter. There's no doubt about it. But just want to say thank you to all the fans watching currently on Facebook and YouTube simultaneously, listeners on iHeartRadio. Thank you very much for the support on the show. Let's get it going. John, what you got first tonight, man?
Well, my first thing is, have y'all looked at all these crazy college football hires as like assistant coaches and people transferring left and right lately? Have y'all been keeping up with that? I know Wes has, but has Aaron and
Yes,
Christian
I have
has?
for sure.
Yeah, the Derek Mason to Auburn.
Yes,
That's a good fit for
Derek
him.
Mason to Auburn was a very. I mean,
That was a pretty surprising, but also a good hire, I believe.
Well, they say he was always a good defense coordinator at Stanford back in the day. So
exactly. He was a great defensive coordinator back in the day. But I mean, I'm just proud for Derek Mason in general. I've always liked Derek Mason. Um, I just think he's a good guy.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think who else. I know Harbaugh got an extension. Herman got fired. That was.
We talked about that last week, but yeah.
Yeah,
okay, Harbaugh's making $8 million a year now, supposedly.
Yeah, man, I really don't know what he's got going on. To be honest with you, I think Harbaugh. Sorry, I was getting everything set up. I think Harbaugh is too predictable as a offensive play caller. Number one, I think if you look at a guy like Ryan Day, he's more of a scheme guy, and he can out scheme you. Where Jim Harbaugh is just going to try to line up, punch you in the mouth, but it obviously is not working at Michigan. Um, but I think Jim Harbaugh is going to. I mean, obviously they're going to give the guy a second chance, and I think this is it. I think they've extended his contract. I don't know the numbers of this contract to be exact. John may have that information.
And I think they're kind of, yeah.
Go ahead.
I think they're kind of looking at what happened with Dabo Swinney.
Yeah.
This whole national championship, that's a new thing. There was a whole 6 years before that was even thought of Dabo Swinney. And they had to give him a chance and be patient with him, and I think they're trying to do that with Harbaugh. So the next 5 years, we'll see if giving him a second chance was the right thing or the wrong thing,
Yeah, most definitely. And you bring up Dabo Swinney. If you go back and look at Clemson, there was a time, I think it was his second year, that there was some Clemson faithful that wanted him gone. They wanted somebody else. And obviously, you fast forward 6 seasons, and you look at Clemson and the brand that they've become. I don't think Dabo is going to go anywhere except Alabama. I think that's the only place he'll go.
Isn't he from there? Or
Yeah,
am I wrong?
he played for them. He played football for them.
And one other
Yeah,
thing,
it's an average of $4.5 million, by the way, per year.
really.
Mariota turning down Texas was kind of surprising to me.
No,
That didn't surprise me one bit.
Breaking news.
Well, I won't say
him
surprising,
right
but it was, I don't know, just
Well, I
you
think
think
Barry
Texas
Odom
does a better job, but it just it's shocking that Texas is apparently fallen that much, or maybe Arkansas has something good going. It could be that.
Is it? I mean, but is it a better job? I mean, yes,
I don't
it's
think
Texas.
it's.
It's Texas. They're
Texas
their own
and the
brand.
Big 12.
I mean, I get it.
The Big 12 too. It's like
Yeah.
Right.
I'd rather be in
think
the SEC.
Yeah. I mean, most definitely. I think, in my opinion, if you look at Barry Odom, I think if you look at the job he did this year with kids that weren't even his, kids that he really didn't even recruit, and then you look at him. This is what his first year, obviously. So you look at him, he's been recruiting all season. So he's been building his brand of defense at Arkansas. I think that's why him and Kendall Briles both stayed, because they know, hey,
His
we
philosophy.
got something here. You walk away with what, 3 wins? What, they finished 3-7 this year.
Yeah.
John had them 0-10 prior to the season, but I won't bring that up. But
I think everyone did.
I didn't.
Just judge. Oh, you didn't? Okay.
No, I believe I had Arkansas finishing what, 5-5, John? Is that what it was?
Oh, wow.
Close to it. Yeah.
Yeah,
no, wait,
I think it was like 4-6, 5-5, something like that.
Yeah, you had wins over LSU, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and somebody else, I believe.
Missouri.
Which that was almost a reality. I mean, we're only a touchdown, maybe 3 points off from that 5-5 being a reality,
Yeah. And I mean, that was based on the talent that I had seen on the field with Chad.
Such
Morris,
a weird
and then also
season. It was just such a weird season because
it was a very weird season. But I also knew you bring in Sam.
Feel like Arkansas could have been
Pittman,
so
you're
much
automatically
better.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think Arkansas. Look, if you look at their recruiting class coming in, and then you look at what he did this season, or they did. Let me put it that way. They did. Kendall Briles, Barry Odom, and Sam Pittman, I think, in my opinion, are the coaching staff of the year. If you look at that team last year and just how depleted they were, how defeated they were, they didn't care. They didn't play hard at all. You turn around this year and look at how hard they played in every game, including the Alabama game that they got blown out in, which everybody has.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't quit. They kept fighting. That's why, in my opinion, Texas did not get both Barry Odom and Kendall Briles. Because I honestly believe they wanted them. I think both those coaches were their first choice. I do know Texas hired an offensive coordinator tonight. I don't know who it is. John, do you? Or no, I'm sorry. Arkansas State hired an offensive coordinator tonight.
No, Arkansas State kept the same guy on staff, but Jones kept the same guy on staff.
Oh, okay.
He did. Okay. I just saw it on the news here earlier saying they had hired a new offensive coordinator. So I didn't realize he just moved up.
Other than that,
I think they're disappointed in Major Applewhite still, because Major Applewhite accepted the job and then he turned them down and went to South Alabama. So they probably had like enough interviews in Jonesboro where he just like said, screw it, I'll just promote somebody, or just promote somebody, I guess.
I mean, I'm not a fan of Major Applewhite anyway. I didn't see anything from him at Houston that told me anything about.
He had Holgerson's players though. No, never mind. No, ignore that. Never mind.
Oh,
I said Holgerson.
Just the guy's a jerk, man. I mean, you burned 3 timeouts in the Memphis game a couple years back.
Oh gosh, I forgot about that.
You know what I mean? I mean, you burned 3 timeouts and you're cocky about it, and you lost the football game. That's what happened. But anyway, going back to Auburn, I like the hire of Brian Harsin. I think it's a good hire for Auburn. I think Brian Harsin. I think he knows he has to bring guys in that know the SEC, that know the South. I think he'll be a good fit there. What I don't think is that the Auburn faithful is going to give him time.
Yeah.
They gave Gus Malzahn all these years, but as we all know, all four of us know, Gus Malzahn, when he first got there, that wasn't his team.
No.
He was playing coattails, and it worked great for him. But in the end, it still did because he got paid. But I mean, who would y'all like to see as the offensive coordinator at Auburn? Of course, now we know Derek Mason is at the defensive position, which we.
Oh wait, Auburn or Alabama?
Auburn.
Oh, I thought Derek Mason was Vanderbilt coach, right?
Chad Morris
he's now the
Right,
Auburn
defensive
coordinator.
Oh, I thought he was Alabama's defensive coordinator.
No. Auburn he's at Auburn.
Oh, okay.
So what happened to Chad Morris then?
Well,
he's still on the staff as right now.
Oh, so
is he really?
I guess he's.
I could see.
Oh wow! Hey! Hold on! Breaking news: Auburn did hire an offensive coordinator yesterday.
Oh, okay. Who is it?
Is it Tom
I
Herman?
don't like the hire at all. No. Tom Herman might go to Alabama, which I would love in a heartbeat, just for revenge.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about me and Wes have talked about him a lot in the past year or so. He was not a good coach at Colorado State. Mike Bobo.
Oh, Mike Bobo.
So good old Chad Morris is gone already.
Mike Bobo is the new offensive coordinator at freaking Auburn, which I'm not saying Mike Bobo has not really improved his offense at all everywhere he's been. He struggled at Georgia. He went to Colorado State. He was battling he's battling his.
That's one thing Colorado did do well, though. It was score points. If that's anything.
Mm-hmm.
Colorado State didn't score that much.
I know they couldn't stop anybody.
Man, I get it. Mike Bobo's, coached everywhere.
They beat Arkansas.
I think he'll be okay. But when you look at Brian Harson's offense at Boise State, I think it's one of those situations where Brian Harsin is going to be the play caller, but he's going to have an offensive coordinator. It is what I think will happen. I could be wrong, but John, do you want to jump into some games real quick this weekend?
Sure, why not?
Don't sound so excited, John.
Yeah, I love the enthusiasm, John.
Yeah, baby, let's go.
Let's
I got my skills ready.
I guess so.
Yeah, gosh, it's Friday.
Hey, I gotta watch. Hey, are y'all gonna watch?
What
hang
you
on
got?
a second. Y'all should watch one game on Nickelodeon this weekend.
Yeah.
On who?
I can't believe they're starting to do that.
One of the games is gonna be on Nickelodeon this weekend, supposedly.
Nickelodeon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What game?
I think it's according to my phone now it says Fox only, but they did have the game. I think it was the Bears. No, was it the Bears and Saints?
Let's see here.
They're putting a NFL game on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because they added a game.
Wow.
Those SpongeBob SquarePants.
There's going to be some mad 10-year-olds.
He's the halftime show. SpongeBob is the halftime show.
Gosh. Hey, if SpongeBob's the halftime show, I might watch. That is a great halftime show. No doubt.
We're gonna have Barney and friends move over to Nickelodeon.
All right, John. What's the first game we got, man?
The first game, which is kind of could be an upset because it's the good old Phillip Rivers in the Indianapolis Colts traveling to Buffalo and playing the Bills, the most improved team on the year, with Josh Allen and my probably NFL Coach of the Year, Doug Marrone.
Yeah.
But I think Phillip Rivers is 5-6 in his playoff games, and a lot of people think this could be a very well upset, going into this weekend because Phillip Rivers has been around the game so long. And we are doing games, not the spread or anything like that.
Right, yeah, we're just doing straight up. Yep.
Okay. Indianapolis is a 6.5-point underdog at Buffalo. I do think Philip Rivers is going to have a decent day for Indianapolis, but they don't got enough offensive powers to match up with Buffalo on the defensive line. I think Buffalo is going to pull it out in the end, 27-20, Buffalo.
Really? I like that pick. I like Buffalo. I think Josh Allen is a amazing quarterback. The guy's got an absolute cannon. He makes every throw. He's really improved this season. On his footwork, number one, pocket presence for sure. He's a little more mobile than I expected him to be in the pros. I mean, obviously at Wyoming, we saw it. I mean, it was on high visibility in college, but at the pro level, I wasn't expecting. But when you look at Indianapolis, yes, like you said, John, Philip Rivers, seasoned veteran, one of my favorite quarterbacks. The guy's got like 20 kids too, man. It's crazy.
It's called
He's
the
got like a whole
Duggar
football
family in
team
the
of kids.
NFL.
It's crazy. But I think a big weapon for Indianapolis is Jonathan Taylor. This guy has been on an absolute tear the last few games. Anyway, I had him on my fantasy team this year. Did really well for me. He's been really and truly, he's been consistent all season long. And for a rookie, you really don't see that. Another one, just to give a quick shout out, is Antonio Gibson for the Washington Redskins. He's been another one that's been a really good player this year.
Washington football team.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. The Washington team. I apologize, not the Redskins. Let me get that correct. But I got to go with Buffalo in this game. I think they're playing at a high level. They're playing really well at the right time. Give me Buffalo to win, and I think they'll win by probably 17 points. Who you got there?
I got Buffalo. I got Buffalo by a touchdown. I think Buffalo obviously they both want to be there, but I think Buffalo is just the better team. And I understand, what everyone said about Indianapolis with the veteran quarterback and all that, which is good points. But I just think Buffalo will come ready and win by a touchdown.
Yeah, this could definitely be a good game, but I like Buffalo as well. I like Josh Allen, and that the Bills franchise. If any franchise deserves a Super Bowl, it's them. And I wouldn't mind seeing them go all the way. To be honest with you, they went back in the '90s or so, they went like 4 times in a row and lost. So if anybody's desperate for some playoff success and a Super Bowl run, it's the Bills. So I think they're poised to do that. I mean, I think they're good enough to do it.
Here's a question for y'all. Do y'all think Philip Rivers will be in the Hall of Fame before it's all said and done?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I saw where Tiki Barber, I believe, he's got his own show on CBS College or CBS Sports on, the cable providers. I was like, he's like talking about Philip Rivers will be in the Hall of Fame, but he might have to wait longer than expected to join the Hall of Fame.
I think by the time it's all said and done, he's in. I don't think he'll be first ballot.
He's kind of like Tony Romo in my mind. Like, they both throw for a lot of yards, and they're really good quarterbacks. But their only knock is the playoff success, I guess.
Well, my problem with Philip Rivers, he has not had a decent coach in his in his last 5 to 10 years maybe.
Oh yeah, if you go back and look at the Chargers, it's been a revolving door for the head coach position, and that's really hurt him. I mean, Philip Rivers has got an amazing arm. He's extremely talented. He's cerebral with how he just picks defenses apart. I think he's no doubt a Hall of Famer. I don't think he's a first ballot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next game will be the LA Rams, who barely had made the playoffs, or barely made it from last week because they beat Arizona Cardinals, which I did not see coming. I thought maybe Murray and the gang would probably, beat the LA Rams just because the Rams started a quarterback who I never even heard of before. But LA Rams at Seattle. Seattle's a 3.5-point favorite. Get your Skittles ready. Gosh, guys, I really don't know what to say about this game because Russell Wilson has not been the MVP the last 7 ball games, throwing an interception or 2 in each of those games. It feels like. Like I said, Jared Goff is still questionable. Well, as of right now, he's playing this week. But the running game still kind of concerns me with the Rams because they're not 100% healthy at each running back. Cam Akers is playing hurt. Darrell Henderson is playing hurt if he is playing at all. I guess I'd take Seattle at home, I guess, just because they're at home.
Yeah, I think when you look at Seattle, like you said, John, Russell Wilson has really struggled the last few games, making throws that he normally wouldn't even make. I mean, it's really just kind of mind-boggling. But of course, as we know, they've got that monster on the outside, DK Metcalf, a guy that, man, I love to watch him play.
Best receiver on the field.
But man, give me Seattle in this game, John. Just the Rams have done nothing to impress me recently. Did they not lose last week? I mean,
they won over Arizona. That's how they made the playoffs.
It was ugly. I mean, give me Seattle. I mean, obviously there's no fans, but give me Seattle.
Yeah, the 12th man won't be an issue in this one.
Yeah, get me Seattle too. Oh, I'm sorry, Christian.
Yeah. I just like Seattle. I like Russell Wilson. He seems to turn it up a notch in the playoffs. And, he's probably one of the top quarterbacks in the league. I don't think there's any doubt about that. So I know Aaron Rodgers won MVP, which you can't really deny that. He had a great season.
They've already announced
give me the Seahawks. I think they did.
Huh.
Yeah, get me Seahawks too. I know like they have a couple guys injured and they're a little down right now, but that just will make for a good football game to watch. I think it'll be competitive, but I think Seattle will win at the end.
Yeah, I see like
and
a
it's
low
a division
scoring
game.
I see a low scoring game in that one.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it's a division game, I can just see this being really a good game, honestly.
Yeah.
An interesting fact in that game also, I think, will be maybe the linebacker crew for Seattle as well. That going into that game, I know. Like I said, Jared Goff still got some decent receivers. They still got Wes's boy from Florida State at running back, decent. Can catch some balls out of the backfield. So our next game could it be an upset in good old DC after all the protests and everything? But Tampa Bay is favored by 8 at Washington in the 32-degree temperature game at kickoff. I just think, credit Washington's defense. All year they've been fighting. They've won some games for them this year by getting some turnovers. Credit Ron Rivera on an amazing story by beating cancer and doing chemo during this crazy year. You got rid of good old Dwayne Haskins at quarterback for a reason. I'm glad they got rid of that guy. So too much distraction. Antonio Gibson, rookie of the year, like we talked about last week, with 12 running, or I think he's got like 12 touchdowns now, over 1,100 yards now running the football. But I think Washington, nothing against Ron Rivera. But I think the offense, doesn't have enough to overpower and beat Tampa Bay at home. So I got Tom Brady and Antonio Brown and Gronk and all of them beating Washington at Washington.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Tampa Bay is at home. I mean, I just got the experience. I mean, Alex Smith is an amazing story, don't get me wrong. But Tampa Bay is just – they've been there before with veteran players, if you get what I'm saying.
Oh, I do. No, I completely agree. I think, and this is once again my opinion, I think there's some issues in Tampa Bay. I think when you look at Tom Brady, of course, we see how much the Patriots fell off this year by not making the playoffs without him. So I think that speaks more to a lot of how good he is. And yes, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Speaking of the Hall of Fame, I don't think there's any doubt about it in anybody's mind. But I think this particular season in Tampa Bay, with COVID and everything else going on, I think it's taken its toll on him and them. Give me Washington to get this win this week. I think Washington is a inspired football team, like you said, talking about Ron Rivera. Give me Washington to get the win this week over Tom Brady and the boys.
Oh wow. All right, uh,
Take the
so
Vegas West.
we have a very hungry rookie that is trying to beat up a MVP, and or like a very the best of the best, and he's hungry. But like I said, Tom Brady is the best of the best, and he has incredible receivers. I mean, this team is loaded. Um,
Oh, yeah, forget about Mike
but,
Evans.
but this rookie is one of the best too. I mean, he was the first defensive player on a Heisman race since what, Manti Te'o, and he's an animal, man. He's awesome. So,
Chase
oh
Young.
my goodness, and also Washington is not coming into this game 7-9. They're coming into this game 4-1 because without that quarterback they got rid of, they are 4-1. So this is a 4-1 team versus the 11-5 team, and ooh, I got Bucks. I have to get Bucks on this one.
I like that pick. I think the Buccaneers will win as well. I think Washington will give up a good fight and it'll make it interesting. But like I said, too many weapons at receiver for Tampa Bay. I'm not sure if Mike Evans will actually be able to play. He did get hurt in his last game. Haven't really heard much more about it, the status of his injury, but that could be big. But I like Tom Brady. I don't think you can ever underestimate Tom Brady in the playoffs. The only question I have is if their defense is a Super Bowl defense. They are 11-5, so they're obviously a good football team. But it'll be interesting to see how they play in the playoffs. I'm sure Brady will have them ready to go. With that experience, being in the playoffs.
Oh, I think it's going to be a great game. I'm really looking for. Out of all games this weekend, I think that is maybe one of the most intriguing games. Just when you look at the two teams, just in general, just how gritty Washington has been all year long. They've just played that way. They played with a chip on their shoulder. It's like they took their name away, and they're just playing with that chip. And I really have enjoyed watching that team play this year.
Y'all think Alex Smith hangs it up after this year?
No, I don't. I think
I
that
don't either.
I think if Alex Smith wins this game and they go on the run, I think that's his team.
Not after all he's been through to get back to play. I feel like he's gonna, probably play as long as he can until, God forbid, if he gets injured again, which it's likely.
That happens tomorrow. I'm gonna come back.
Oh man!
Oh God!
Oh man!
Christian, if that happens tomorrow.
Hey, let's not do that, Christian.
It can happen any time in the NFL.
Still,
yes, that would not be good.
All right, well, what we got next, John?
God, a 10-day. It's harder for you because you're a Titan fan, and I live 3 hours away from Nashville. Oh man, Baltimore 3.5-point favorites at Tennessee. Lamar Jackson is still on the Ravens as last check. Who else is okay? Baltimore still got Dez Bryant out there at receiver. Throw up the X, but he's not in Dallas no more. Tennessee, I'm happy Tennessee's finally got a good quarterback in Ryan Tannehill. As a person that follows the Titans here locally because they're on CBS every Sunday. Like y'all probably got the Cowboys in Arkansas, which are close to Texas.
Also Kansas City over here.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with
in Arkansas.
I guess I'll have to go with Baltimore I love Henry's having a hell of a year for Tennessee. But that Tennessee's defense, guys, has not improved at all. I thought they would have a decent defense this year going in with all the good pickups they got and Clowney and some other players at corner. But this is the same Tennessee defense that gave up like 500 yards a lot this year. And they struggled last week against the Texans at Houston, which J.J. Watt was playing hard and Deja Watson was playing hard. But Baltimore goes into Nashville and beats the Titans. Sorry, Wes.
All right, it's okay. You've been wrong before. I think when you look at the Baltimore Ravens, here is my question, and it's a question I pose to all of y'all. All right, first off, I think Tennessee's going to win the game. I think Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry. I don't think they can stop Derrick Henry. Just point blank, period. I don't think anybody can. I think he is on a mission this season. I think Tennessee is on a mission this season, especially if you look at them last year. They made it all the way to the AFC Championship game against Kansas City and gave them a hell of a football game. I think when you look at them this year, they're just on a mission. But my question to you, back to Lamar Jackson. Of course, we know during the regular season, he is amazing. We saw last year in the playoffs, albeit against the Titans once again, he did not look good at all. My question is this.
Yeah, 2 years
if
in a row,
Lamar does not win this week, yeah, he has. I think if you look at Lamar Jackson this week and he does not win this game, do you question, I don't want to say his validity because he's a very good quarterback, but do you question his leadership and ability to win in the playoffs?
Yeah, the playoffs are all different ball game, pressure's on. We'll see. It's going to be
Everyone's
tough.
going to play
the playoffs
their
are never easy. You'd like to see him at least win a game in the playoffs, just to.
Brady Johnson said that Baltimore has Pro Bowl first team long snapper Morgan Cox as well.
Yeah, he's from ECS in here in town. Cool story.
Very nice. Very nice. John, who you got Baltimore. Who you got, Christian?
Yeah, this is a very tough game for me to pick, but I got to go with the Titans because, like I said, that run game, if they can get Henry going, it'll open up the pass. And then we saw last year, I know it's a different year, but Tennessee was able to pretty much shut down Lamar and force him to, when they forced him to pass, he had some difficulty there. So I think if they try to employ the same game plan, and they could have some success. But I do think it'll be a good game. I just think Tennessee will pull it out.
We are the Titans. My time.
Who you got, Aaron?
Yeah, I got Tennessee on this one. So I think like the running game is going to be intense. So I feel like that'll be good for them. And also Ryan Tannehill has just been playing so well. Like he'll be ready. He'll be ready for this. I'm not saying like Lamar Jackson won't be and Marquise Brown, but I think that's what will make it a good game, but I still have Tennessee winning. I think it's going to be very, very close, very, very good. Maybe a lot of scoring. I can see a lot of scoring in this game. But I got Tennessee.
All right, what you got next, John?
Okay, guys, the game that supposedly might be on Nickelodeon. Chicago Bears at New Orleans. Interesting fact in this game, Mr. Trubisky finally have kind of woke up for the Bears and played some decent offense of late.
Mhm.
They're still, their defense is still decent at times on and off not off the field, but on the field. I'm still concerned about Mitch Trubisky's playmakers, like in this type of setting. The Saints got a nasty defense in Demario Davis, Arkansas State kid. Shout out to him. But Drew Brees will basically have one more game go as a New Orleans Saints quarterback and not retire yet. I think the Saints will definitely. I think a lot of people think it could be close for a half. I think it's going to be close for a half. I see the Saints running late or scoring maybe like 2 touchdowns also to put it away in the fourth quarter, and probably win by 17 points at home. And Saints are favored by 9.5, but yeah.
Yeah, I think the Saints are the better football team. They've got more weapons. Give me the Saints to win this game by at least 10 points.
Yeah, I think the Saints will win. Drew Brees, talks that it might be his last season. He's going to want to finish strong. But it can be a close game. I could see that, it being close at halftime. But too many weapons, like you said, Wes, for the Saints, and could be one of those seasons where the Saints are able to finish the job if they can. They're good, certainly good enough to. We'll just have to see. There's a lot of good teams this year. It's one of those years where it's kind of hard to pick. It's never a bad idea to pick against the Chiefs, but there's a lot of good teams out there. Is what I'm saying. So, yeah, give me the Saints.
Yeah. Also, give me the Saints because I feel like Drew Brees is going to come in ready, but Kamara, is that how you pronounce his name, the running back, Kamara?
Yeah.
So if you look at your ESPN apps, everyone, he is the leading rusher and receiver.
Yep.
So that duo, that Drew Brees Kamara will come ready, and they're going to play because if Drew Brees is ready to retire, he's going to work hard to try to play Tom Brady again, try to play all these quarterbacks that are from his same class or like that are older that he thinks he can maybe get a little redemption on, and end off strong, like end off on a good note, So I got Drew Brees and New Orleans on this one.
And another interesting stat is Michael Thomas has not caught a touchdown pass this year.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Yeah.
Got next, John.
The last game of the NFL slate this weekend, which could be very fun, could be very ugly. When I say ugly, you never know what could happen. Looks like Myles Garrett and Mason Rudolph made up last week, which I'm glad.
And how do you make up after that?
Hey, they did somehow, according to a picture I saw.
Do you think tempers will flare up in this playoff game?
Try to kill a man and you make up. That's just. Hey, I'm glad that they did, but.
Hey, it's all good. You hit me in the head with your helmet. It's all good, man.
The Cleveland Browns at Pittsburgh. Big Ben is back this week, according to some reports, because they wanted to rest him last week. Mike Tomlin's, Randy Fichtner, and good old Mr. Butler with the Memphis connection there for Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Cleveland, like we talked about last week, guys, they still got Nick Chubb at running back. They still got some other decent running backs in the backfield as well. They still got Baker Mayfield at quarterback. They still got Baker Mayfield at quarterback. Odell Beckham is not part of the receiving core no more. I'm this game is one of the toughest ones to pick also. Just because you never know with a Pittsburgh team that lost to like the Jets could show up, or something like that. I kind of want to pick Pittsburgh at home, but the thing is, Cleveland's not having their head coach in this game as well due to COVID protocols, and I think they're having like two other assistant coaches, not coached as well. I think they're special teams coaches coaching this ball game. But I want Cleveland to win at Pittsburgh just because I want to see how Baker and them do without their coaching staff and their decent running game as well. But I think Pittsburgh will get them at home this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is probably one of the more intriguing matchups of the weekend. Brady said that he said two things actually, John. One, he said that Tomlin also has a Memphis connection as well. Of course, Tomlin was Tomlin was a GA at Memphis. But I completely agree with what Brady said. Two words: Jarvis Landry. If you look at the Cleveland Browns and you look at Baker Mayfield, he's a guy who I think has made an incredible leap this season. He's making much smarter passes, number one. He's learned to dump it off to the running backs like Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, and others. Give me Cleveland to win this game, John. Give me Cleveland to win this game big, actually.
Wow.
I think Cleveland is going to be a threat in this playoff.
Sorry, Blake Butler. I don't know this guy anymore.
Yeah, this is an interesting game to pick. You never know what Pittsburgh team will show up, but Roethlisberger, with that experience in the playoffs, I think they'll be ready to go. But props to Cleveland, though, making the playoffs for the first time in I don't know how many years.
Feels like forever.
Yeah, it has been. I mean, I want to see Cleveland win just because they've been very bad since forever that I can remember, since I've been alive at least. But so I can see them winning this game. Actually, it wouldn't be that far fetched. They did beat them last week, but that was without a lot of key players for Pittsburgh. But give me the Steelers in this one. I wanted to pick Cleveland, but I just can't. I don't know. I can't.
Well, I got Cleveland. That running game is probably the best. Because I get Tennessee as Derrick Henry, but I still think Cleveland has the best running game, in the league.
They have
Nick Chubb, and then the guy that came from Kansas City,
Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt. I mean, those guys. Oh my goodness, they're going to come rolling. They're going to be ready. And Baker Mayfield will. This is in a spot that they haven't been in since 2002, and they're going to they're going to do it for their city. They're going to do it for their state. They're going to do it for their conference. They're going to make a run in this, and this is why, in my opinion, this playoffs is going to be very exciting for me because it's not just the Patriots anymore. And it's like, even though Tom Brady will still do his thing, it's for a different team, and it brings out a different name out there. A different team. The Buccaneers are going to do their, and so I think this season's going to be exciting because we can't discredit Kansas City because we're naming all these other teams that could easily go to the Super Bowl, but then we can't discredit Kansas City too, making another run at it. And it's just so exciting, But yeah, I got Cleveland on this one.
Green Bay as well.
Yeah, Green Bay. Yeah,
Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm. It might be Green Bay and Kansas City.
Like I said earlier, I mean this playoffs is wide open. I mean,
oh yeah,
it really is.
It's going to be a wild playoff for sure. It's going to be a very wild playoff.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of good old Kansas City, did y'all see where the Texans are the only team that declined to interview their offensive coordinator?
Really? I did not know that. I did see the Texans are supposedly shopping around Deshaun Watson as well.
I just
Yep,
hope
I did.
J.J. Watt can go somewhere, just to say, hey, I finally made the playoffs with a decent team. And, I hope he joins his brother in Pittsburgh. That'd be awesome,
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be
I
awesome.
think that'd be awesome. I completely agree. I think that he really needs to get to a team that he can really show. He's a great athlete. We all know that, but get to a team that he can really have a chance to win a playoff.
Well, he's gone through so many coaches as well in Houston too.
He has, and Bill O'Brien did him no favors at all. I'm not.
And
a Bill
honestly,
O'Brien
the
fan.
Texans aren't a franchise that is known for keeping great quarterbacks.
No. Not
Look
at all.
how they missed Case Keenum.
Yep.
Case Keenum?
Yep.
Keenum played that quarterback with Texans for a little bit.
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Texans, actually.
Wait,
What you got next, John?
Go ahead, Wes. What?
Oh, go ahead, Aaron.
Didn't who's that Miami quarterback? Not Tua, but the other one, the veteran.
Fitzpatrick.
Brian Fitzpatrick.
Yeah. He didn't he play QB at the Texans for a while too, or
he was at Tennessee for a
I
while.
don't remember him being there.
Oh, okay.
Brian Fitzpatrick. Hang on.
He was at Buffalo, I know.
I'll look it up. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll talk about whatever.
He was at Buffalo for sure.
Yeah. I just thought he was at
Fitzmagic
Texans.
was.
Yeah,
Oh, I got the
Fitzmagic.
colors mixed up. They're kind of similar.
at Buffalo for a while. That's really where he kind of made his name, I think.
Yeah.
What you got next, John?
Yeah. Hang on a second. That's all the NFL games. But Fitzmagic was in the Texans in 2014 before he joined the Jets. So right after the Tennessee Titans, he went to the Houston Texans for a year.
I remember him coming.
I had totally forgot
the
about
Cowboys that year.
Yeah, wasn't Wade? I think Wade Phillips was probably his coach.
Yeah, he probably was.
I think he was.
He probably was.
And then wasn't Ryan Mallett their starter for a while until he started being late to everything and got fired?
Oh God! Yeah.
Oh God, he was a head case, man.
Yeah.
That Springdale, Arkansas connection.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, buddy.
Good old Springdale.
What you got next, John?
It's all the NFL games as of right now, or not as of right now, but that's all the NFL games for this weekend. But I'm just like, we'll talk about this more on Sunday with our other crew. But of all the 6 teams that have fired coaches, what's the team that you would probably be more excited about with a hire than the least hire? Or what job is most appeal to you? And then what's the least job that's not as impressive to y'all?
Okay.
Just off the top of my head, and when you're just talking about which job is more appealing than the other,
right?
Like higher appealing versus lower. Okay.
Right.
I would say, obviously, I think you have to say Texas, just based on their brand that they have and their money. I mean, if you look at that Texas coaching change, Texas spent probably close to $50 million or so.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking about NFL. West. I'm sorry. I'm talking about NFL. Right?
NFL.
You said Texas.
Oh, I'm sorry. NFL. I'm sorry.
Sorry, guys. My fault.
Okay. NFL. Oh, you're good. Least has got to be the Jets. I don't think anybody wants to go coach the Jets. To be honest with you, I think Jacksonville is a little more appealing than people give it credit for.
A little bit more.
Yeah, I think a little bit more. And I think a lot of it depends on the hire. Both at GM and head coach. I think that a lot of the GM hires that are going to happen in the pros are more important than the head coach, I think. But yeah, I would say Jets being least for sure. And I think you got to put Jacksonville up top. I think that's a little more appealing of a job than people give it credit for. What about you, John or Aaron?
Yeah, so I got the least appealing is Jets. They haven't done anything since the 70s. I don't know.
Or when Sanchez was at quarterback.
Yeah.
Mark Sanchez was actually their last great quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah,
Butt
yeah.
fumble.
But good one, yeah. The most appealing, and this is just like, is this just any team, or is this just any team that's looking for a coach right now?
Looking for a coach right now.
Okay. Yeah, I'd have to pick Jacksonville too because, oh man, I'd love to see Urban Meyer roll up in there. Oh, that'd be so cool. I think they're trying to get it going, but we'll see what happens. And yeah. So I got Jacksonville because you can't go wrong with Florida. I'm just saying. It's warm.
They're also getting ready to get Trevor Lawrence. I mean,
yeah.
that kid's talented.
Yes.
He makes every throw. He can run what a 4.3, 4.4, 4.5, whatever it is, 40. I mean, he's got wheels. He's going to be a major weapon to have for a first-year quarterback. For a first-year head coach, yeah.
No, I'm gonna go different I'm gonna go different because you already said the Jets, but my least one right now.
Gone yet.
Well, I'll go. And then you can go ahead and pay them off.
Pay them off.
Go ahead, pay them off. How about your soccer team?
Not much longer. But
go ahead, go with your fiance. Hurry up, Duncan.
The Jets, I wouldn't want to coach there. But I think the Chargers, they just fired their coach. I believe. I mean, that's a good job. I think the Chargers.
It's a good spot. I mean, it's a definitely good geographically.
Yeah.
But that's all. That's mine.
Okay, my least one right now would probably be. I'm gonna go different. I'm gonna do the Texans, because I'm just gonna go different because one, like we just talked about, y'all. Watson does not have no playmakers around him at all. If they decide to keep Watson, there's no playmakers. They miss D-Hop more than anything at receiver.
Oh, yeah.
J.J. Watt's still on the defensive side of the football, but for crying out loud, they don't even have the NFL. I mean, they gave up a lot of picks in the NFL draft last year, for example.
Yeah, they did.
So they don't have nobody that they can, unless they trade in this year's draft. They can't really go up in the first round and take like a Trevor Lawrence or somebody like a decent defensive player or a decent running game or anything like that because they already gave the pick away in the top 5 this year.
Right.
Christian, you made a good point with the Chargers would probably be a good destination. It just depends if Justin Herbert also can get a little bit of more playmakers on his offensive side of the football.
Yeah.
And don't lose those leads in football games like they did this year with that coach. Yeah. But the Chargers would be, I think, would be an interesting fit as well. I mean, a good fit for some decent coaches as well.
Completely agree. With all 4 of y'all, or all 3 of y'all. Sorry. John, this weekend,
you agreed yourself, huh?
Going to be exciting for this show. Looking forward to it. We got 2 or 3 guests tomorrow. 3 guests Sunday.
Hang on a second, I'll look it up. You want to read it off to the fans real quick?
Once again, guys, do what, John?
You want me to read it off to the fans real quick? I can. I got my book here with me right now if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, first of all, Christian, you have a safe trip on the airplane tomorrow. We'll be praying for you.
Most definitely. He's coming back to America.
And hopefully, Christian, you won't have to experience what you did in the Panama airport with all the crazy testing and all that. But
and those pirates, those pirates, oh man.
Yeah, we had to turn our boat around because we saw some pirates. But
we went back to Houston. Yeah. Take a look at that joke of a football team over there.
And hopefully, Christian won't hit no more cars, in the Panama. On the way to the Panama airport.
Yeah.
Real quick, tomorrow's lineup, I know, and Aaron, I know you got to work, so you can definitely tune in on Facebook Live with us, and just send us some questions or text us, as well.
Yeah.
So me and Wes tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. We have Scott Robinson, the Carterville Boys High School basketball coach here in town. Me and Wes probably know that name he was the manager under John Calipari back in the day when he was at Memphis. So I'm sure Wes could pick his brains a little bit with Calipari back in the day, and stuff like that.
Just a tad, not much.
But at 1:30, we have Maurice Mo Miller, the Arlington High School basketball coach, the former Georgia Tech basketball player that played at Georgia Tech. And I believe he also played a little bit of overseas back in the day. This is his second year at Arlington. The reason I want to get him on is because I'm not going to ask him that personal questions regarding next week's rivalry game between Arlington and Bartlett. But I don't know if y'all remember this or not, but Bartlett and Arlington have two Shelby County schools that are not playing basketball right now in their league as well. So technically, they only got two teams this year in their league. They're playing district basketball.
Oh wow!
So that's insane.
To me, yeah. So that's I'm just going to ask him about the rivalry game, how he's going to get his guys ready for a good test in Bartlett going into next Friday. And talk about his playing days at Georgia Tech with West a little bit. 2:30, we have a high school senior that's going to Carbondale, Illinois next year and play for the Southern Illinois Salukis at 2:30. His name is CJ Pearson, who played at White Station this year. So we're going to ask him, what stood out. I know Southern Illinois, when we in West grew up, we had Southern Illinois usually playing the 1AA championship year in, year out, if you remember right, Wes. And Southern Illinois is getting a good player in that one. So we're going to ask him about his Southern Illinois signee. And then at 3 o'clock, you want to do that introduction?
Yeah, at 3 p.m., we'll have the CrossFit girls basketball coach, Shanae Govan Williams. She's in her 4th season there as the head coach. They're actually playing a game, or they played a game tonight up at Magnolia. I don't know if y'all know anything about Magnolia, but they are a basketball powerhouse, to say the least. But she will be on with us tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. For roughly 30 minutes. Just talk about a little bit about her girls program she's got going on at CrossFit, and pick her brain a little bit there, and also break down the season moving forward. I know they got 3 big games next week at home here in town.
And then you would go over to Sunday lineup, you said as well?
No, we can do that tomorrow. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Once again, I'm Wes Pruitt, Aaron Smith's over there, John Sturman's down there. Christian Johnston is probably going to bed because he's got to get up early to fly back home. But thank you for everybody watching on Facebook, watching on YouTube, all of our iHeartRadio listeners as well. Also, like I said at the beginning of the show, guys, we just posted our new website. We will be improving it as we build it. Just something to get it out to you guys. Check it out. But once